Una na to Mayor kining tension sa US ug sa Iran. Kay doon kay statement usab niadto. Mayor, gustuhon mo na to dili. Kita din sa Pilipinas, apektuhan gid gihapon.
Ay, tanan kita affected. That's why importante kayo nga dili ni siya mo grabe. Dili mo worsen. No? The other term for that is dili mo escalate. Kay lahi biya ning conflict among nations. Ang kulba diha kay magkabangga ang national pride sa duha, no, or among the protagonists. It could start with just an argument, and then kung naanay armed conflict, no matter how small it is, delikado gid gyapon nga mo langkat, mura nag bushfire, mura nag kalayo nga delikado mo langkat, and kumuda ko mo escalate siya, lisod na makontrolar. So the implications cannot be confined to the countries involved. No, there is no such thing as an isolated conflict. No, kay kuan magud we are a community of nations. Tanan would be affected because of trade, finance, other relations, no, and because of the kanang openness in connectivity, travel, etc. Gamay naman lang karon mga nasod nga restrictive kayo or isolated, gamay na, mahihap na lang. Tanan, you can go there, nalay visa application, pero generally wala may mga except perhaps ang North Korea and kana medyo kuan man sila isolated, and countries like Somalia, where kanang gitawag nga failed state, no, gamay ra gid ang gana diha, and gamay ra sad ang deal with them, no, nang pwedeng masulting isolated, no, pero even North Korea, simbako magubot na diha, with their nuclear capability, delikado gid mo langkat mo na rom, no. So kining American Iran tension, lugar kuan kana, no, dili lang na karon, lugar dugay-dugay na pila na kadekada. Actually, ang Iran used to be a close ally of the US. Katong panahon sa Shah of Iran. Ang alignment diya sa Middle East, kay ang Iraq aligned sa Russia. Ang Iran aligned sa US, no? Buma na ang kuan niya to, ang pares-pares. Pareho lugar na sa India o Pakistan na ay mga paris-paris, sa North and South Korea na ay paris-paris, na ay Russia, na ay Amerika now, and na ay mga treaties, pareho sa ato, natay treaty with the US, mutual defense treaty, no. Simbakog atakihon ta din by any nation. Ang America is bound by that treaty to defend us, no. Now, so ang Iran was a close ally of the US until the Shah of Iran was toppled down in the 70s. Yeah. And then remember the US embassy was besieged and taken over by the Iranians, no. So mo tong naghinay na dayo, nag-deteriorate ang relasyon, etc. And then naapan ng extremism, etc. No. Lain po na, very complex issue ang extremism. Mismo sa Middle East, dili sila sumpay. Na ay very hazy ang pandya, very di ka kasiguro kinsay sakop ni kinsa, no, ina na kabugat ang problema. Now, siyempre, America had declared war on terror resulting from the 9/11, no, 9/11 sa World Trade Center, and katong mga terror groups na ato'y ginganlan sa Amerika nga muni silang mga terror groups. And then they declared war on the terror groups. Bin Laden, etc. Kini si Soleimani was an Iranian general, but he was also the leader of a group that America has labeled as a terror group, kining Quds. Now, napay complex diha. Daghan kayong mga complexities diha sa Middle East. Napanay Sunni and Shiite, etc. Iran, Iraq, and the others. These are tribal groups nga are bitter rivals, no? Mamanang usa sa mga bugat pod nga problema na dili na sila sumpay na usa ka na sa mga problema. Anyway, ang Iraq, in the meantime, was controlled by Saddam Hussein. And the U.S. declared war on Iraq panahon ni George Bush. And Saddam Hussein was toppled. And a new government was put in place. Unfortunately, that government, up to now, is weak. So, ang Iraq has become a medyo highly influenced by Iran and other countries. Wala kadungog ka ng term proxy war. Lain po na ang anggulo kanang gitawag ng proxy war. What is a proxy war? A proxy war is a war between smaller groups or nations but being supported by bigger nations like the US, Russia, Saudi Arabia, etc., Iran. Kaya ang real war is a war between nations, between countries. Pero kining proxy war is a war not between two countries, but between two proxies. The proxy need not be a country. Na usapod na sa makahatag og komplikasyon kay kanang grupo ni Bin Laden. Wala man ay nasod. Di man na nasod. It's an organization. Unang people now are saying katong gibuhat kang Soleimani. Katong kang Bin Laden, when Bin Laden was killed, the world rejoiced. Of course, iyang mga sakop were sad and asked for shouted revenge, no? Pero walay nasod nga ning barog kay Bin Laden did not represent a country. He represented a cause, no? Now, munang ingon ang karon mga analysts nga, well, Bin Laden okay la to, pero ning Soleimani dili ni as simple as a Bin Laden case. Kaya ang Soleimani was a general, a revered general of a sovereign country, Iran. Lugar, no matter how, yung lagi nga, bisag di ka mahimuot sa tao, he may be a bad boy, etc., he may be the worst boy, but say he's representing a sovereign country, kuidaw. Na muna nga kana Soleimani dugay na siya nga planuhon panahon pa ni Bush, Clinton, etc., Obama, pero ilalaging gawnon naon kanang gitawag nga consequences. No, unsay epekto if we eliminate him, what will happen? Daghan komplikasyon kung kanang kumpara sa Soleimani o Bin Laden. Yung Bin Laden, katuro may iyang organisasyon and related organizations. walay country in particular, no. Whereas kini kang Soleimani, Iranian general gyud, bona fide, revered, and high-ranking general of the Iranian Revolutionary Army. So, kung na, it's an attack on a sovereign nation. So, siyempre, inana Rome, hilabtan ang imong nasod or ranking official. One can take that already as an act of war and an aggression. And in the community of nations, simbako maigo ka kanang biktima ka na. It's a matter of national pride. Nga you have to take countermeasure. No matter how small you are, it's a matter of national pride. Di man mahimong atakihon ka sunod na hilak lang. Di mahimong. Matter of national pride. You have to take action. That's why countries, especially the smaller ones, na treaty. That's why naa ka ng NATO, etc., mutual defense. So, muna ang bugat niya, ang national pride, na grabe pa kayo ang reaksyon sa Iran, no? We have seen, I'm sure, I hope you'll remember how it was when Bin Laden was killed, no? Na ay mga demonstrations, pero walay klaro og kuan gyud kanang dili concentrated sa usa ka lugar. Unlike ang kuan, kini karon primero hundreds of thousands, sunod na himong millions. Grabe nga kuan. Na kining Iran, just like any country, na ay mga conservatives, na ay moderates and all that, no? So, anyway, munang kulba. So people expected nga the killing of Soleimani would result to a countermeasure on the part of Iran. The only question was where and when. Now, it could be within the Middle East territory where Iran is. Kaya naman siya mga missiles nga maabot dito sa ubang mga nasod where the Americans have their military bases. It could also be in other countries outside the Middle East. And dili discount, pwede sa dito mismo sa US. Dito mismo, lugar, provided nga naa sa capability mo nang kanang inana nga move. That's why there is now a debate dito sa congressional leaders in the US nga the power to declare war is vested in the Congress, and the president cannot declare war by himself. Okay? And tuyo ana is because war has many dire consequences. War is very deadly, and war involves the entire nation. And you cannot allow a single individual to decide for the whole nation, to put the entire nation at risk, at serious risk, no? Pero siyempre, ang presidente po, under the American Constitution, is in charge of the foreign policy of the U.S. To a very large extent, pareho ang atong constitution diya, pareho ang atong jurisprudence diya, no? Pilipinas o gihapon, foreign policy decision na sa presidente, pero na ay check and balance. Kung treaty, kinahanglan i-ratify ka na sa Senado. Declaration of war, kinahanglan na gyapoy congressional kan. So, muna nga kan. Now, 3 days after the killing of Soleimani, it was very tense Very tense. Ang US nagpadala na yung mga military dito sa some parts of the Middle East para added reinforcement, tabang. Kay bubalos man yun. Expected gina. Even the US was aware. Even the US believed nga Iran must retaliate. Must retaliate. O gina ang word ya. Mandatory ka na. Otherwise, Iran would not be worth respecting. O gina ang in the international community of nations. And motong kabalaka, so kita, Pilipinas, daghan kayong implikasyones ana sa ato. Number one, of course, atong mga OFWs to adito, pero not necessarily in Iran, pero to as Iraq. Pero ang problema ni kay ang US bases are scattered all over Middle East. So, and in many of these US bases, sigurado na Pilipino. Filipino diya. So, overseas workers, no, munang there was a call, ito na tapos quiet, di ba? Itong gi-recall na yun, si Secretary Simato was directed to handle the evacuation. Itong declaration, itong gera sa US and Iraq, nagkuhan gyapon itong Iraq quiet war, automatic yan ang evacuation. Kay naay mga Pilipino na lisod man imong pasagdan. Naaman din na, automatic man din na advisory na yun ang mga nasod. Our citizens in this country are advised to leave and go to safer grounds. Now, that's one, ang OFW, ikaduha, ang epekto kung simbakuon niya mag-escalate, maggrabe ang gera. Unsa man ay mahitabo, lugar sigurado kita ang presyo sa lana. That's a given. Kay ngano, Iran, Iraq, Middle East, these are the oil exporting countries. And any shooting war in any of these areas will certainly affect supply. So there will be less supply. Now, kung law of supply and demand, less supply means higher prices. Higher prices. And higher prices will mean more costs to the importing countries. And kita as Filipinas, we are a net importer of oil. Na mga nasod like Brunei, they produce their own oil, no? Pero kita, we buy our oil. Na atong gamay nga local production, no? Pero gamay ra kayo. The bulk of our oil is still imported. Now, ang atong deregulated na ba ang atong oil price in the domestic market, kay importante po ito kayo, kinahanglan i-deregulate, kay before sa deregulation, subsidized man. Kung musaka ang presyo sa lana, gobyerno ang gabayan. Motong dako kay utang ang NPC, National Power Corporation. Kay dito man gakuhaon ang subsidy. Nakinsa may ga-finance sa National Power Corporation, ang katawhan gyapon. Bisan katong dili gagamit sa oil, no? Muna nga gi-deregulate para kinsa itong mugamit, siya magbayad sa cost. Now, pero mo lagi, kay deregulated man, na market forces now would be very, very important. Now, market forces, you cannot control market forces. Like for instance, import of oil, kung naay shortage sa supply, musaka gina. Law of supply and demand, I said, no? And then, kung musaka ang oil, musaka ang presyo, we need to pay more dollars. Kaya di man nato na mabayaran ang oil sa peso. Kaya ang peso is not an international currency. So, we pay more dollars or more Swiss francs or etc., German currencies. That will mean we need to produce more pesos to buy those international currencies. So dako na din ang epekto ana, inflation, etc. etc. Kulba no munang kung ito very tense, and may na lang ang gibuhat sa Iran kay importante man gid sad nga naa dayon mga ubang nasod nga mo intra dayon para pakalmahon ba. Kay ug pasagdan na nimo delikado mo dilaab ka na. Delikado mo dilaab na si Trump kay di ba nagpalkat si kulba pa kayang statement nga pati mga cultural sites ang apilon. Ingon ba siya nga, I have identified 52 sites. Amo ning bumbawon ug bubumba. Ano lugar, tit for tat, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Na puro na bragadasyo ba na wala na katapusan ani. Ambot asa mo paingon na alang-alang musulti ka sunod ang imong aksyon lahi. Forgive the expression, natalaw. Kana mo yan, lisod kayo. Kay, kung sa imong isulti, paninindigan mo. Otherwise, you'll become a clown in the international community. Na muna, kung saan ba ang Iran, I think, dili sad sayo ng ilang giagian kay na, that was an act of war already, the killing of Soleimani, a revered Italian general. Although, I'm sure Iran also knew that Soleimani was being targeted already by many. And kay mulagi, Soleimani had directed wars for Iran against American soldiers. And I think it's already accepted na Soleimani had been responsible for the killing of many American soldiers. Ang kulang lang po sa Amerika is kano sa sila mo baos, pero mulagi na sa isyu nga kadugay ba kayo baos, dugay naman na kayo. Kung ano man kana laging tit for tat, no? So anyway, may na lang na ay Germany, UK, France, kanda yun, asking for restraint. Mo magina restraint kilo importante. And then on the part of Iran, gibaho sila pero dito sa Iraq, ilag itong gipili. I'm sure they had many options, many choices, pero dito nila kuha sa Iraq. Kaya ang Iraq, ilan namang ingunta alay. So dito sa American base. Pero naay kuan nga walay casualty. Napagani suggestion nga gituyo walay casualty kuan nga ila. Because of that, walay casualty, ingon din si Trump nga di na mo bawas. So hopefully, katong statement ni President Trump had closed the lid, so to speak, no? Had provided for a tourniquet lugar para di na mo gawas ang dugo, no? Tourniquet sa conflict. So now is the turn of cooler heads. In the meantime, ang US lower house nagpass og resolution saying kinahanglan they have to naa sa ila ang lugar, the power to declare war. Pero kana adto po na Senado, and it is expected na sa Senado either dili na aksyonan or mapildi ka ng resolution. But at least ang importante is munang beauty sa democracy sab, no? Giabot or ma-discern ka na sa American people ang mga issues for and against certain actions on the part of the American leadership. So kulbahinam pero kali sa Diyos nakuha na siya, like I said, sirhan na ang uwa parugar ka ng barbula ba nakuha patay ang barbula, hopefully huwag ka ng firecracker bitaw nga naikuan na barbula o patay, no, pero naapay barbula o naikulba. Delikado pa na madagutan. So I hope nga in the meantime kuan gyud ang Iran-US tension is not expected to be over. Kuan pagid na ang importante lang nga walay shooting war. Nagka-problema na sila kay katong sa agreement between Iran and the US that President Trump, when he assumed office, iyang gi-terminate, no? Now, so the discussion now has bottom to focus on political direction between the Obama approach and the Trump approach. Pero kali sa Diyos, the conflict has not escalated, and hopefully kuan gyud, no, makuha ka na wala na di na makatrigger sa another tension. In the meantime, na istorya itong Ukrainian airline momento nag-crash, no, where around 178 passengers died, including around 13 Ukrainians, no? So I don't know kung ito sa report na abay Filipino, but naamangoy mga suggestions pa lang, pero dili pa klaro na suggestions nga it was hit by Iranian surface-to-air missile, no? Surface-to-air kanang nasa Utah, target sa taas, surface-to-air. And I do hope, however, nga masolve na, mugawas ang results investigation. I think Iran has invited independent groups, even some groups nga Americans, no? Mga experts to look into what happened, whether the cause of the crash was katulaging surface-to-air missile or unsa, no? Pero even assuming for the sake of discussion missile na, obviously there was a mistake. They didn't realize nga civilian airline dito. Abi siguro nila atake gikan sa abi nila kuanto kargahan og armas para patay na po sa Iran ilang kuan. Pero mulagi makita nimo karon ang quality of leadership sa Iran ug sa US and even Iraq and even countries like UK, France, Germany, Saudi Arabia. These are the influential Russia. I hope Russia will speak up and help diffuse the tension.
Mayor, duha lang may kapangutan na karon, naka-standby ang
reserve na lang po sa akong
PNP.
kwan sa next program ni Mayor. Reserve na lang, Mayor, next
Sige,
program.
sorry, taas ang answer kay kuan man ko, komplikado kayo, pero mo lagi bago para ba nagsugod ng tuig, nalisod kayo og kini nga kuan, bugat kayo. I'm sure ang atong national leadership was also very, very worried kay siyempre kung paingon to sa shooting war, evacuation gyud na dili biya sayo ng evacuation na daghan kay epekto ng evacuation dili maayo para sa ato, no?